Leo season is almost here. And for my lovely 5D mystics and those of you who are energy workers and are in tune with the energies, you know the yearly cycle. So on this lovely, lovely pre-Leo season day, I'm going to share a couple of things. Our lovely heart body, you get to align with it by choosing to lead with your heart. And so this is the opportunity for people to integrate their new expanded energy body, but that's only if they actually disengage from the land of duality. And that's because if you don't move into equanimity, when you're evaluating aspects, you don't stay in alignment with your actual heart. Pure consciousness is unconditional love, and it is also Prakriti, is the pure energy you are. You can only maintain a pure energy and pure consciousness body if you are an integrated mind, all hands on deck. So you work with your left and right. Your default mode network is down-regulated so that the others in the self is not scanning to say, can I turn my social engagement system on or not? That would be your ventral vagal nervous system, which you don't need yoga to keep it engaged. You just need a heart that says, if somebody's being rude to me, I don't have to be rude back. Very straightforward. So on that note, functional adult love language are aspects that Zen masters straightforward. We always forgive because the past never repeats itself, so we don't really need to forgive. 2, we learn how to master our physical energy, mind, body. And we hold our values. And that's how we maintain our joy, and that would be the heart body. So anybody who actually does yoga should be a Zen master by now. I've seen a lot of them. They wear the mantles. I don't see them being kind to each other. So they're not choosing heart. They're choosing heart in Maya land. And in fact, that equates, they still potentially have, I'd say it's probably the one siphon mindset. And then the I'm enamored with my own light mindset. So this is where those who think they're better than others because they think that they're the only spirituality people or spiritual, which really is a word that people use in here. It's a person, an ego self, human being, which I know some are so connected to the ancients. They say, no. Even if neuroscience people are saying that the self is something that exists, I'm going to keep saying the ancient texts know the truth. And so whatever machines show me in the brain structure of a human being cannot be. It's fascinating, though, because some of these people are actually neuroscientists themselves. So they're like comparing and competing with ancient texts and updated information. And I used to think that science and the field of it would kind of separate belief systems and stories versus data. But that's actually kind of silly, because what do I use when I'm doing this? I need to connect the data somehow. I have a personality, I have an opinion. So see, here's where for me, infinite higher human consciousness potential, I get to support you to become the best version of yourself, which is the integrated mind. Every human, unless they have an actual active brain structure, which the good psychoeducators say it's very possible for them to be on a very good journey, learn to work with the rigid mind, which is not the well-being, learn to work with the dysregulated and the modulated embodied self to try and move to restorative embodied self, which is your body in homeostasis, which, your body as a human being tries to get you there. And your brain also tries to undo, basically heal the trauma memory, to move your trauma memory, which is not time-stamped, to get it to be time-stamped and move to normal memory. So when we dream, thank you, Patrick McNamara, REM sleep, during that sleep, this is why dreams, and we have plenty of them, 5D mystics. I know of all of mine, and I keep dreaming and having amazing astral travel, all of it. Never once have I engaged in it thinking I'm special, anointed, or, oh my gosh, somebody's going to come out and get me. Now, I've tried explaining it to people that are in my land, meaning the intuitive land. Apparently, they keep on wanting to believe that they're witches who have their third eye blocked. They don't know that the third eye is the prefrontal cortex, and if you're saying it's blocked, I'm not going to do introspection. That's what that means. I'm not going to do intrapersonal intelligence. I'm not going to pay attention to when my emotions come on up, that I can actually start rhythmically breathing to learn to self-regulate And I can actually become mindful. Wait a minute, I'm in the presence. I'm an adult now. I don't need to do the 2-year-old tantrum or the 15-year-old. Basically, people think they're badass, but they really aren't. Or how about when people are like actually saying, I am trying to hide away from love by closing off my heart, but I'm going to pretend that I'm doing people a favor. One of the most interesting, and I'm being polite, words that a adult human being of all genders and non-genders could ever speak, because you're really bullshitting yourself, not another person. If the other person is smart enough to be like, wow, that's fiercely fearing, and it's okay, don't worry, you'll be safe. Because those of us who fiercely love, we're not going to poke at those who fiercely fear. We're going to leave them alone. And in fact, this is where 4D, 3D, group mentalities, stereotypes, overgeneralization, all those groups that have only words of everybody's a coward kind of thing, or everybody's a sheep. Yeah, we all are, essentially, but some of us aren't. We just learn the right silence, because when people don't move into their secure attachment, because they don't try and choose their heart body, the 2-year-old joy stays with you. Krishna, Leela, Shiva, and Kali. These are words that are beautiful when you're embodying unconditional love and enlightenment. And I raise my hand. We talk about it all the time. It's really amazing. You know what's sad is that people who feel spite, vindictiveness, revenge, they actually think that's a highlight. Or people who feel adrenaline rushes and who keep on only doing that, they actually think, because one, the movies don't educate them about what this is, but really it's hard to educate somebody about something when they keep thinking that humanity, the greatest thing that they can do is to fight each other. And they don't learn the good psychoeducation, which is we don't actually tend to want to fight. We have a mammalian heritage. The reptilian nervous system of ours, fight, flight, freeze, was there to help us when we were with our bare hands with animals, not with each other. Once we began to become a herd, we are, let's hug each other. So there's a very big indicator when people are not in a secure attachment body. They don't want to socially engage and be around people. So on this lovely pre-Leo season, every year people get to make 2 choices, or 3 or 4. The primary one is that they're usually presented with a couple of very impactful things, or at least one, that they're going to get to contemplate. Once this moment arrives, they're going to get to see what pure love is and what pretend love is, what pure joy is and what pretend joy is. They're going to be given an opportunity. Now, the ones who are functional adults, so they know their inner well-being, the ones who don't have a blocked third eye, so they're going to know, if I'm unconditionally loved with flaws and imperfections by you, that's great. And if I'm not, then we have to be able to say F you, and hug it out. If you don't accept that we're different, and you support me, and you talk the truth to me, but you support me, then I think we're not really, expanding. So the people who don't expand you, the things that don't expand you, and then secure base. I have interests. I do have a brain. If it's dull, not a problem, and life isn't a problem, and humans aren't a problem. It's not because there's boring shit outside. No, I am not stimulated. Now let me take a look at what are my interests. What can I read? What can I do? And all things in moderation, by the way. That's what functional adults know. This is why the Zen masters consistently repeat the same thing to the non-disciples or the disciples or the compulsive individuals who have addictive behaviors from maladaptive responses / safety behavior responses to unresolved trauma. As long as you're not able to unconditionally love, you have not actually mastered the height of being a human being. The spirituality process is the way they would talk about it, because before machinery and good psychoeducators, we did not have good psychoeducators. Now we have both. And in both cases, it's the same. To lead with a aligned, so in heaven, means you can master and know your physical energy, mind, body. You hold your values and that heart body. So choosing heart means that I and you can communicate, that I and you can respect and talk to each other no matter what differences there are. This is what it's called to be an adult. That's what I thought as a teenager. Now that I'm an adult, I still think it, and I have more words to explain it. So being yourself and leading with your heart and dealing with the unknown, uncertainty, unwanted with your own flow is very easy peasy when you use your left and right mode like a person, and inner growth, the mindset, not the shame cycle, inner critic, outer critic, and then denying and doing it all over again. No, that is where some people will head but not the 5D mystics and not the Enlightenment soul agent for sure, and not the functional adults. And so love language it is. Tune on in for more and have a wonderful day.